Learning sponsorships. So you have learning Gail and Leslie Kaplan and many of their parents, Moshe Schwitz, Bat Yosef Chaim Bachava, Hanan ben Moshe Eliezer Bachana, Pesh Bat Shmuel Yitzchak Alevi, Betzipora Yosef ben Yom Moshe Cohen Bacham. Rexford Friends of Gladys Sherman, Gutta Bad Meir, Michael Klein and Friends of Judah Klein, Yehuda Tzvi Ben Chaim, Marsha Brunner, memory of her husband, Rav Yerachmiel Ben Shmuel, Friends and Family of Arthur Ritholtz, Mordechai Yudel Ben Baruch Leber Cohen, Friends and Family of Siggy Bester, Shalom Shraga Ben Dov, Friends of Marvin Weinstein, Mordechai Ozer Ben Yisrael Aaron, Sarah Alpert, in memory of her husband, Harav Tzvi Lipa Ben Hillel, Rexford Friends of Maddie Friedman, Lyndall Miriam Bat Kalman Ruben, Bella and David Adler, in memory of her father, Hariyahu Ben Yosef Cohen, Friends of Honey Heifetz, Chana Shoshana Bat Dosei. A Month of Learning by Susan and Reuven Podolsky, in memory of her father, Simcha Buna Ben Yeshua, Susan and Reuven Podolsky, in memory of her mother, Chaya Bat Avraham Dov, Michael and Judith Koretsky, in memory of his mother, Rachel Bat Avraham, Jack Gilman, in memory of his brother, Zev Yosef Ben Yitzchak, Aaron and Melvin Haller, in memory of her father, Yosef Eliezer Ben Tzvi Hirsch, Barbara Stern, in memory of her brother, Israel Avraham Ben David Motka, Sonia and Bernie Kutz, in memory of their dear friend Honey Heifetz. She touched so many lives in the best way. Week of Learning by Andrew and Stephanie Becker, in memory of his mother Chaya Leah Bat Yehoshua, and in honor of his friend Rabbi Mordechai Estovitz, who said Kaddish for her. Today also there is a day of learning by Corinne Greenwald, in memory of her husband Yitzchak Ben Pinchas. Many Shemas have an aliyah, crank with a fear of Velti Yeshua Shemat Tzvi Chol Ben Israel, the good to Ben Shtia.
Mr. Kipperman, you were so right yesterday. I didn't remember. And it's a mission. Mishnah teaches us that you can put a feedback animal to feed him. But the thing is, the halacha, you can feed him. You have to feed a certain amount. But today we're going to allude to, we're going to have an anomaly, not the real case, but a case where it only looks bad. It looks bad with a little more makeup. You'll see, we put a handful in. But really, you have to put a certain amount in. But today is like an allusion to that thing. But you're right. So really, we can do it. And we're going to debate whether you have to feed the animal what it likes or what's good for it. So it's like a kid. Do you feed the kid what the kid likes or what the mother says is good for it? The answer is it's the mother wins. We'll see.
The mother.
This teasing, no, we give what's good for it is even if it's not what it likes, but it's good for what's good for it.
So you can feed what's good for it.
Huh?
You say you can feed what's good for it.
Yeah, we're going to see in a second coming up. Yeah. I grew up in a house. There was no such thing. I was shocked when I used to visit my friends. Parents used to ask them what they want to eat, like this. There was no such thing in my house. You put a plate down, you ate it. Who asked anybody anything? There was nothing. Whatever was dinner was dinner. Then you thank Hashem you ate it. There was no. And I had a cousin. Who was a very finicky eater, and she stayed at our house. She was a little kid. She stayed at our house for 2 weeks. When her mother picked her up, we walk in. My father puts down the plate. She eats off the plate. And goes, "What happened? She never saw her kid eat like this." They said, "Birth, my father." Okay, done our bonus. We're going to learn. Today is a day of testing all of the parameters. That's what we're going to do from now to the end. We're going to examine all the parameters of these laws. And just one more thing. So here I have a problem in America. I spent most of my life in Eretz Israel. So we make shalom. We use whole barley. You understand? In America here, you have to go. It's hard to find out. They serve you what they call pearl barley, which is you have to go hunting to go find whole barley. Yeah, to find whole barley. So you have to. There's two different stages. What we call threshing. Threshing is not what makes pearl barley. Threshing is what takes the barley out of the ear, just like you understand that it separates from the plant. But the shell that's around it, that's a different story. That's not what threshing is about. Threshing is to separate the barley from the plant. You understand? From the ear. But the second rate, and the same thing, let's say you have wheat and whole wheat, etc. The different story. That's a different story. The threshing just separates from the plant. There's other levels of processing, taking the thin layer off. So here we're going to talk about, instead of saying dash, instead of threshing, which is separating the produce from the plant, which we'll use a different word. We'll say, okay, let's say they're stomping it. So when the cows are stomping wheat, what is that? That's barley that was already soaked in water and dried out. And the point is, what we're trying to take off the inner shell. You're saying the inner shell. So the inner shell's coming off. So that's called. So what's the point though? Look, take a look. When we learned yesterday, this is very important to remember. We learned yesterday that we have two levels of when you're of when of the point where the prohibition takes place. We're talking about one, things that need um, things that have to take challah, or things that don't take challah. So things we're going to take challah, what the processing goes all the way up to when, all the way up to the point where it's ready to take challah. You understand that when you put the water into the flour, but mix it up a little bit. But things we don't take challah. When is the prohibition? When is the prohibition? When is the obligation? Let's say. When's it finished? So things that take challah, it's finished by challah. Uh, I didn't say clear. I'll explain it 1 second. But things that don't take challah, it happens at the time when you finish the work. So over here, if I'm going to use barley not for bread, or we're going to use barley to toast, or we're going to mix it with honey, mix it with honey. So then we're not going to make bread. So then it really what? When did the end of the work happen? The end of the work already happened when they put it up in the grain pile. Way before that's before before this point. So so really what? So the problem is like this. 1 second. Yeah. And therefore what? Uh, so therefore, their obligation, let's say, for Meiser, was from before. Okay, pardon me, when was the prohibition? Uh, yeah, yeah. When was the prohibition I'm sorry, just because. When was the prohibition of Muslim? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I was confused two things. Okay, so so I just want to check one thing. Right. Here's the point. No, the prohibition of Muslim is really until when? Until the original grain pile. Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, so that's before the finishing of the work. Okay. And there you have a prohibition of Muslim. But here, since we already brought it to the grain pile, and it's not something we're going to take challah from, so there's no prohibition of there's no prohibition of what? There's no prohibition of Muslim. So that's the point. No, it's after the work is finished. There's no prohibition of Muslim. It's honorable. That's I'm sorry, it took me so long. No, it's like that. This kind of processing with the animal is not a processing. Is after the time that the work is done, and therefore there's no prohibition of Muslim. So therefore what? These cows are trampling after already after the work was done. Also, even if they're actually doing the original threshing, separate it from the plant. But what they're threshing is truma or meiser, okay, which are things that don't belong to him. In both these cases, the person doesn't transgress Muslim. It doesn't transgress Muslim in the first case, why? Because it's after the time of the work. It's already done. There's no issue of Muslim like that. And he doesn't transgress. He doesn't have a problem with truma and meiser because and he doesn't transgress a Muslim by truma and meiser because it's not his stuff. It has to be his stuff. The only thing is what? He does transgress rabbinic laws. Okay, and since it looks bad, so therefore what? Maybe bull the oto on him. He takes a handful, and that's what I told Mr. Kevin before. Really, that's not enough. You have to put much more. But in this case, it's only because it looks bad. You take a handful, okay, batola batar into, you put it in a sack by in its mouth. You let it eat. That's good enough so people see that you're not transgressing. You're not transgressing it, but then you look like you're transgressing Muslim. Okay? Shimon Yochai says, maybe Kashina Batola. He says, you know what? You can take this vegetable that's considered very healthy for the animals, like Kashina Yochos Menachol. You don't have to put the same species as the same species, but you can put what's good for it, what's better for it. And since that's better for everybody, you can put that into it. Okay, Rimini, so we have a kasha. Here we learned a minute ago, we said what? If the person doesn't only transgresses a Muslim from rabbinically, and both by rabbinically, and by true and Maisa, okay, in both the cases, there's no problem with Losatsa. Rabbinically, you have to worry about it. We learned a contradiction. Parsamach said the true had animals that were trampling, means the later stage, you have to look at them. Over Mishum Batachson, the person does not transgress, okay? Like we said, that part's not contradiction. But it says, Madashas for Truma and Maisa, but if the animals are threshing, Truma and Maisa, over Mishum Batachson, that is called what? That is called muzzling, and the person transgresses. So that's a contradiction. And let's say a guy is threshing with a Jewish cow, okay? And the Jew told him, the guy's threshing his stuff with a Jewish cow, and the Jew told him put a muzzle with it. And over Misham Baltasum, still the Jew does not transgress, right? Because he's not doing the threshing. In Israel, Dashba also so nachri. But if a Jew is using a Geisha cow to thresh over Misham Baltasum, then the Jew does. The guy's threshing is over. Kasha, Truma, Kasha, Maisa, Maisa. We see a contradiction between Truma and Maisa, between the two prices. The first price told us what? That like Truma and Maisa, he does not transgress Muslim. And the second price said that he does transgress for Truma and Maisa. The Gemara says, Bishlam or Truma, Kasha. Okay, at first glance, I can easily get out of contradiction of what about Truma. Truma is the stuff that we give to the Kohen. Khan, I say, Khan, okay, when you told me what, when you told me that what, when you told me that you don't transgress, okay, the Truma, that's my true, well, pardon me. Yeah, when you told me you don't transgress, that's by Truma, okay, like he said, well, because it's not his, okay, the Khan, big Truma, you know, we're talking about what comes from Truma, and why is that? Yeah. And why is that? Because that's not what Kiduli Truma, what grows from Truma. Now, let's say I take Truma, I'm a smart guy, and instead of giving the Truma to the Kohen, I take the Truma and I plant it. Well, the truth is, what grows from the seed disappears, and what grows is a new thing, and it's not Truma. The only thing is what? But it's only what? But it's only rabbinic. From the Torah, it's not Truma, but the rabbis made it Truma. Now, the rabbis made it Truma. What's the truth, though? What's the bottom line? It's not Truma. And since it's not Truma, really what? So the transgression of what? Okay, so the transgression of Muslim applies. So that's the point. Real Truma, the transgressing of Muslim doesn't apply because it's not yours. Let's say autosis. Okay, but Giduli Truma, since it's not really Truma, things that grow from the Truma seed, okay, is not really Truma. So even though the rabbis call it Truma, but the facts are from the Torah, it's not Truma, and therefore the prohibition of Muslim applies. So I can easily answer Truma. Alamaisa Kasha, but I can't explain the law of Meiser. The chief term of Meiser, don't worry. Why don't you answer the same thing by Meiser? The Meiser comes to Meiser. Why don't you say when is the transgression when you are threshing Meiser? Okay, because of Meiser, when it's growth from the Meiser, since it's no rabbinic, you do transgress. You do transgress. It's messing up. So this one could be a truma. Okay, that makes sense. It's a truma. It's a truma. You're right. So that you have a rule that what the truma is rabbinically truma. The duly meiser there's no question. Everybody in the world holds that if you plant meiser, what grows is not even rabbinically meiser, and therefore, yes, it's true. It's true. It's true that what? It's true that you would transgress, but there's no need to say it. It's obviously yours. It's 100%. It's 100% it. The Tananis we learned, Gedule Tevel, okay, but Gedule Maisasheni, what you grow from Tevel. Tevel is before the grain before you took the truth of Maisah. It's Gedule Maisasheni. And what grows from Maisasheni, okay, Chulin, that's the Chulin. The rabbis did not make what grow from them any kind of tradition whatsoever. Also, I'm stuck now. So how do I explain my true myself? I will look kasha. Haba myself rishon not. There's no way. He says, when is it that the person it transgresses Muslim backwards the other way? Right? When it transgresses Muslim, it's by myself rishon. It's the myself, okay, that you give to the myself give to the lady. Okay, what? Because that's normal money. Everybody's lying. You can have lunch at the lady's house. Haba myself sheni. And when do we say what? When do we say that you don't transgress? Okay, if the Torah says, okay, that's why my shame. Why is that? Because that belongs to Hashem. And even if you hold it, it's yours. But let's say it'll be outside the gates of Yerushalayim. So therefore, what you know, and therefore it's not really you. I people say no. Typically, like to say like this. Horrible, my shame. And so both cases are talking about what where the cows are threshing Meiser Shane. Meiser Shane, 1 second, I'll tell you what, Meiser Shane is Hashem's or not. Low Kasha, it's not a difficulty. All Rabbi Meir. One is Rabbi Meir. All Rabbi Yehuda, one's Rabbi Yehuda. What do you mean to say? All Rabbi Meir, what do you mean to say? What? One is Rabbi Meir, who else Meiser Shane, you could stick in. Meiser Shane, Mavun Gavol. Meiser Shane, even though you eat it, still belongs to Hashem, and therefore what? And if you don't transgress, and how Rabbi Yehuda, the Bible that says what? That you do transgress, Meiser Shane, Mammon had to do. Because Rabbi Yehuda holds what? Meiser Shane is really yours, and therefore what? It's not really Hashem's, so Hashem gave it to you, and therefore what? And therefore, when you muzzle the animal, you're transgressing because it's really your stuff. He says, and what's the case? Now, ironically, we should have said it much earlier, but we're finally getting to it. The one does this often. He says, Echidami. No, how can it be a case? How on earth did you ever get to a case where here usually when they give truth to myself after we said 20 times after you polish the grain and smooth it out. So how come over here you're at the threshing stage? You never how is it that it's true in Meiser? The answer is to go and shigdima b'shabon. Because in such a case you can get true in Meiser already even when the stuff is in the ears. You can just designate it. Okay, okay, and therefore so that's fine. That's how it happens. But according to Yehuda, who holds that Meiser Sheni Meiser Sheni belongs to you, but still, it's only yours. You're only allowed to eat it inside Yerushalayim. Definitely inside Yerushalayim. So okay, so why is since he's out there threshing it, not Yerushalayim, why is he transgressing? He's still not his yet. Go and shadash the thing that comes his pocket. The answer is what? He's inside the outer scriptural wall of Yerushalayim. So he's outside, but he's still what? Still considered enough that he's allowed to eat it. Ibay saying, okay, another way to solve the problem between the Bryce. This is another way what even according to a mayor holds what the Meiser Sheni belongs to Hashem. Lokasha. Khan the Meiser Vayde. One case is let's say Meiser where we know for sure that it had to be taken, so it's truly Meiser, so we're on fresh time. Let's take it there. Khan the Meiser Demai. This is Meiser that you took from stuff you bought from the Amor. So the rabbis made a rule. Even though most Amirats take Meiser, but they're not that careful. They take Truma, but they don't take Meiser. So when you buy produce from an Amoritz, you should take Meiser again. But you realize you're only taking the Meiser, and really it's most likely, really truth is it doesn't need to be taken, but the rabbi said to take it. And therefore what? So when you take Meiser Sheni, it's not really Meiser. So therefore, even according to the mayor, it's really, since it's when the Torah is chulin, and therefore you're going to transgress when you thresh it. I the master says, but Hashta I think to Achi. So once you already follow that answer, you already if you're going to use the trick of Demai to separate, says Truma, not okay. Then even Truma is not a contradiction. Okay, why is that? You don't have to come up with this whole idea of things that grew from the Truma. Okay, Kamba Truma is one. He said what? One is a case where what? Where Truma you separated. You knew for sure that it had to be separated. So what you separated was really Truma, and therefore you don't transgress Muslim because it's not really there. Well, Kamba Truma is mine. One of the cases you took Truma from the Ma, you took Truma from stuff you bought from Lamars, and therefore what? Really from the Torah, it's not Truma, and therefore you transgress. I says, come on, Bishlam and Meiser, you can't answer that. Bishlam and Meiser, Demai, says, you're right, there's such a thing as Meiser from Demai. When you buy from an Amarch, you take Meiser or Truma, Demai, Mika, whoever such a we don't take Truma. We don't take Truma from Demai. Says, well, Tanya, that's what we learned. Afu, Rabbi Yochanan Gaba, who made all these decrees. Vital Savidoi, one of the things he did was he stopped people making the confession that we make in the fourth 60 years. We say, look, I took everything out. I did what I was supposed to do, and I gave it to the lady. Why? Because the Levim were punished for not coming back there to Israel. They were punished, and the what? And the Meiser was given to the Kohanim and not to the Levim. So nobody can honestly say I gave it to the Levi anymore. So there was no more confession. The Gazal Demai. And he made the decree that when you buy stuff from an Amarach, you have to take Meiser. But why? Look at it. Because he sent around all the boundaries of Israel. The arts, even the uneducated people, they were only taking truma, but truma, they took. Why they take truma? One, because there's no set amount. You can take one kernel of wheat, okay, and that's it. The whole pile is good. That's one. It's not a big problem to do it. And the second way, because eating tevil, the person is hard to be killed by the shamayim, and therefore even the Amaris were very careful about truma. Okay, so truma they took. Okay. Okay, but the problem was Meiser, so there was no. You don't have to take. We saw that the decree never said there's no such thing as truma from Demai. Lokasha, the way it says, so there's some ways I can still answer. Kam b'trumas Meiser. So one is talking about trumas Meiser. That's the point. Okay, by that. Okay, we're talking about. So we're talking about here. The Levi, we have to from Demai. We have to take Meiser. So one in the Levi is going to take trumas Meiser. Okay, so what? So one is trumas Meiser by that. One is Trumas Meiser that was for sure Trumas Meiser, and therefore it really belongs. It's really Truma to the coin from the Levi. But the common Trumas Meiser, okay, the one was Trumas Meiser that was recently came from Meiser Demai, and that for sure is not holy, and therefore the person transgresses. They ask the following question from Chaser. We look at all kinds of anomalies. So the animal had diarrhea, so it's eating. Okay, it's going to eat. It just eats and it goes to the bathroom. They say, okay, so now is there a problem to muzzle that animal? On the one hand, what should I say? What I should say? What did the Torah is because we don't know what's the reason why the Torah said you can't muzzle the animal. Is it mishum demali lahu? Is it because it's good for the animal? This is not good for the animal. It's not good for the animal now. Okay, and therefore, since it's not good for it to eat, you can muzzle it. Dilma, the chazim is tired. No, the reason is because the animal's suffering. And whether it's good or not, the animal wants to eat it. Sees food and wants to eat it. Is the point what the animal's suffering about eating? So okay, well, chazim is tired. The animal sees it. So if you say the reason because the animal is suffering, you're not allowed to muzzle it, even though it's no good to let it eat. But if you say the reason because it's good, it's nourishing, it's good for it, so it's not good for it, so therefore you're not transgressing by muzzling. On the contrary, you're helping it. I'm really of Sheshes. So Sheshes to me too. We learned it before. Remember in the Brisa, maybe Kashinim B'Tololo. He said, look, you're able to give it Kashinim, which is better. It's the most beneficial for the animal. So Kashin is the most beneficial for the animal. So you see, it's what's good for it, and as opposed to what? As opposed to what is what? So therefore what? So therefore you don't with this. You don't transgress. Why is that? How can you tell me you're going to give it Kashinim? It's like somebody's mother. No, you eat your vegetables, eat your spinach. I don't want to eat my spinach. I want ice cream. Mm-hmm. The animal sees me. It wants sweet. No, you're going to give it kashinim. The animal says, I want what I see. So if you tell me you're allowed to give it kashinim, so the real answer is we have to discuss it. I think it's not simple over here, but it's not simple tomorrow. But the point is what? If it's what's good for it, it's right. So even though what the animal wants to, since it's no good, it's got diarrhea or whatever, it's no good. Therefore you're not transgressing muzzling because it's not good for it to eat. They had this query. Well, how about, can a guy say to a guy, you'll see, even you think we had this, but you'll see in a second. Can a guy say to the guy, muzzle my animal, okay, and you go, and you muzzle my animal, and you go, thresh, okay? We have a big on Shabbos, we have a rule. Here, a guy is not also to work on Shabbos. I'm also to work on Shabbos. So what can I say to a guy? Turn the light on. And what can I say to a guy? Go work my field. What's the big deal? So me, I'm reading on like Shabbos. The rabbi said, no, you're not allowed to. The rabbi said that you are not allowed to tell a guy to transgress for you on Shabbos. Okay. Now, what's the reason? Okay. One they said because we say that the non-Jew is your proxy. He's okay, and the proxy is like you. So if you get the guy to do it, it's like you're doing it. Okay? And there are other reasons brought in the Rishon. Okay, but we're going to say simply, yeah, if you tell him to do it, we consider him to be your Shariah. Now, when did the rabbi say? The rabbi said that. Okay, but when Hanimili, I say, but what's the word was Hanimili Shabbos? Maybe the rabbis only told me that, and they only made that decree that it's forbidden to tell him to do it. Okay, by Shabbos, why? Because Shabbos has a very severe punishment. Okay, Shabbos and Yom Tov is like Shabbos. Okay, because it's a very severe punishment of getting stoned, about being killed. About chasima, when it comes to chasima, muzzling is only a negative piece. Yisrael, it's merely a negative piece. Okay, maybe the rabbis didn't make such a decree. Maybe they did. So the rabbis universally say that telling the guy to do this is so I know they only said it by Shabbos. Yom Tov. The Tashma says, "Come, I'll bring you with you." Let's see. So can I tell a guy to go muzzle? No, yeah, that's the verse issue. So you learned earlier. You said if a guy is threshing with the parah of a Jew, in the oven Shabbat also, he doesn't transgress. Okay, the Jew doesn't transgress, obviously, right? Right? Okay. Now, Mebedu below Avar. Okay, he only said, but you notice it only said, well, he doesn't transgress. But it says, okay, ain't no over, he didn't transgress the Deraisa. I see what you see what there's still a rabbinic prohibition. So now you say, because the Blackman said he didn't transgress, but he's still forbidden rabbinical. No, I said no. I said no. You don't agree with that. I could say, but so according to that, there's a prohibition even by other things. And I said no. The dinner of the Suriname effect. Say the truth is really what even there's also no prohibition to tell a guy to thresh. I did to tell a guy to thresh. I did to tell a sefer. Israel the process enough for over. The only reason, since it's the balance in the rice, since it's how we want when a Jewish person threshes with a Goyish ox, okay, that he does transgress, Panamisha and over. So there he said he does transgress, and he didn't transgress. And this is what I tell you again. You have to. In the beginning, when I started teaching you, I said a lot. I should say it more because people make the mistake over and over and over and over again. Inferences, every inference, look it in the mouth and be suspicious. Inferences are not airtight. They're not mathematical. They're not strong arguments. They might be true. They might be true, but it has to be last man standing. You know, you have to wipe out every other fighter on the field. To make an inference and hold to it, you have to undo every other possibility in the world. It's hard work. It's hard work. And therefore, what when you make inferences, you have to defend every other possibility in the world. It's not the best way to. It's not the best way. You have no choice. You use it, but it's not the best way to go. Okay, Toshma, the Shalchule Abu Dishmo, the people in Israel sent out to the Shmuel. He says, "Alain Tur, they had this shot. He said, the people of oxen. This is we're not allowed to castrate our animals. The Torah forbids us to if you can't bring them, and you can't do it. You can't do it in your land. The pasuk said, "The causes the nasu, the cars, all these damages to his organ, like Hashem, you can't sacrifice Hashem. You shouldn't do it in your land. So you're not allowed to castrate an animal. So here's what happened was that sometimes the goyim they like the Jews. You understand? So what they do? He says the goyim steal them, but they want to do a favor for the Jewish guys. So they steal them and they castrate them, because the animal is castrated is a much more valuable because you're able to, it's good for an animal that's not castrated. Basically, it's good to chef and eat the meat. An animal that if you don't castrate the animal, very hard to use the animal. It's hard to use the animal as a work animal, as a plowing animal. So these goyim, they like the Jews. They steal their animals. There was a guy who used to steal. It's documented. He used to go in periodically steal in the Chofetz Chaim's cow, and he put it in his field. And then he run to the Chofetz Chaim. He'd say, Rabbi, your animals in my field. You're hurting. You're damaging me. So the Chofetz Chaim would have to go out, take his cow out of the guy's field. The guy was bringing the cattle. What happened? He revered the Chofetz Chaim so much. That he felt if this tzaddik will step, footsteps on his field, it will bless his field. So he stole the Chofetz Chaim's cow, so the Chofetz Chaim should walk on his field, and his field should be blessed. So there was once often they would call the rabbis to be character witnesses in the Goyish court. So they called the Chofetz Chaim to be a character witness for a certain Jew. So the lawyer, the judge calls the lawyer he says, I heard all kinds of incredible stories about this rabbi, this, Chavetz Chaim. He says, are these stories true? The lawyer says to the judge, he says, look, judge, he says, I don't know if they're true, but I know one thing. They don't tell stories like that about you and me. He says, anyway, but these guys, they like the Jews so much. So what do? They steal their cows and do them a favor and castrate them and give them back so they'll be more valuable. They'll be good for plowing and not just for shechting. But these Jews were not 100% of the What do? They avert their eyes. They ignore it. They know what's happening. Is that they make like they don't. Yeah, they make like they don't know. Yeah, it's a trick, exactly. It's aroma is when you purposely ignore something. Aroma is a trick when you purposely turn it around. Exactly. So there are times when you should, by the way. We have to talk about it. But here it's not. It wasn't. So shalach lu. So they said, what's the rule? What's the rule? Mao. Okay. So are these guys allowed to get benefit from these oxen if they're going to the land? The shalach lu Shmuel sent back to him. He said this the answer. He says, since they're doing a trick, come on, they know what's happening. They're not paying attention. Since they did a trick, they did a trick. Okay. So what? So you should do a trick on them. What should you do? Okay, to stop them from getting benefit. It's not right what they're doing. Okay, and people, okay, these dabnu, okay, you have to sell them, but make them sell them only for what? Only for shechting. They can't get the benefit of pardon me, they have to sell them. They have to. I didn't say right. You have to sell them, but they can't continue farming with them. Okay, and they can't continue farming. Papa, so Papa said, he said, no, that's no proof. He said, that doesn't prove. Uh, that doesn't prove. Uh, yeah, you want to prove. Yeah. So you want to prove what? That getting the guy to do it is okay. Says that doesn't prove it. See, so that we see what really getting the guy to do it is not okay. Papa says no. He says the name Arava. He says the people of Eretz Yisrael, especially Savri Lock people, they hold like a shidam of b'nei Noach mitzvah serious. The reason they are people who hold that not only Jews are prohibited from castrating, but even going with castrating. And therefore what? Look, the reason why you have to be so stringent with those guys is not because they told them, but because what? Because they transgress it, not making a stumbling block before the blind. If a guy has a law, there's also your prohibition of not placing a stumbling block before a blind. You can't cause another person to do a sin. Also, good, you can't cause to do a sin. And therefore, it's a problem. So they held that that even the guy was forbidden to castrate. So if we have no raya, that you can't say to if we hold that that let's say in a case where we all hold that that a guy is allowed to muzzle, we have no proof that I can't tell a guy to muzzle. There's no proof. Because they held the guy was also to castrate. There's no comparison. Sover over the main Rava wanted to say, okay, that this is why I almost made a mistake here. Sover over the main Machur Lashita. Okay, Rava thought to say what? You have to sell them. So I thought, like I said to you, if you want to sell them, we have to really find them that shouldn't get the benefit of the castration. They have to sell it, and they can only sell it for meat, for shechting, and they can't get the high price for a working cow. Amalei Abai says no. He says, it's enough that you make them sell it. Enough to go so far. And it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to argue about the argument there, because here, if the whole point was they're going to benefit from the fact that the animal was made more valuable, say no. It's enough that you stop them from personally plowing with the cow, but to getting the money, he says it's allowed. They can still get the upgraded value of the castrated cow. The rice problem. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Don't start with me. The people drove me crazy with this stuff. I have to tell you, this is a true story. I don't remember what I years ago. I used to ask about Scheinberg all the time. I said, "What's out of the They go to Scheinberg and they want to give birth control pills to the cats. It's like, okay, Scheinberg. I was thinking, if you like give birth control pills to the cat, he says, yes, assuming that it doesn't destroy the organs. He says. He thought, he thought it was the funniest thing he ever heard. Yeah, he thought it was hysterical. All right, who's putting the burger on the cap? All right, okay. Shita, okay. Now what? Now when you're gonna sell it, who can you sell it to? No, it's obviously you can sell it to your grown kid, to your own grown kid. Here's some machlokas where the grown means just majority, or grown and you're not supporting him. Okay, fiachadon, he's another guy. No, cut my can sell even to a minor kid. Okay, he's not even grown. Rabachi also, Rashi, sorry, that was a machlokas. Rabachi said no. Rashi said yes. Marema Mazutra, okay, another point about this farm. Marema Mazutra, or these two saintly people, when it was done. Now, in their case, it wasn't done. They weren't doing it um, by purposely averting. The guy weren't doing it; they didn't know, but they didn't want to. They didn't want to get the benefit, so they used to switch with each other in order to be above board. No, it's not the case here. The goyim were doing it for them, but they didn't know. Okay. Nevertheless, they still did it. Okay. Why? For one or two reasons. One, because maybe people are going to think that they knew it is number one, or because they don't want other people, which is what happens. Everybody's going to go to the guy and tell them to do it, and that's what today it's this big thing. It's everybody wants to go there. They go to the doctor. They didn't go to the doctor. Tell them let the doctor do it. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Okay, we have no new problems of what? Of Muslim. If the guy stuck a thorn into the mouth of the animal, so the animal can't eat. Okay, is that okay? Mo, did he transgress a Muslim? He didn't put a Muslim. He just made it couldn't eat. He says, Hoshivah, but he stuck it in. That's Muslim. Stopping it. Who cares? But eat a muzzle? You see? You're stopping it from eating. Stop eating it. Here's the question: the animal on its own got a thorn in its mouth and it can't eat. Mo, am I allowed to now take it and plow with it? Okay, here Here, I place a lion to scare the daylights out of it. This thing is shaking like a leaf. Says, Mo, what's the law? It said, won't eat anything. I says, here it's law. What are you talking about? I put a lion there. So when you're scared, that is muzzling it. You're stopping it bleeding. If there's an animal outside and scaring the daylights out of it, now does he transgress or not? That's the question. Okay, you take it's like a cow, you put its baby there. It's worried about its baby. It's not eating. Okay, you put the baby there. Ma, what's the law? Is that called muzzling? I saw it's the animal was thirsty. Okay, and because it's not going to eat because of that. Ma, what's the law? Okay, you took boiled leather and you put it on top of you didn't cover the animal's mouth, you covered they covered the actual food and it doesn't see it, that it's fresh. Mahu, okay, what's the law? Okay, so Pashmi so at least one of these things says the Gemara can solve. Because the Tanya, okay, why is that? One of them I can solve. The Tanya, because we learned Mashai Bal Para Lahari Paraso, and the owner of the cow who's going to rent it out, he is allowed to starve his animal. So then, when he rents out the animal and they sure it's going to eat a lot, he wants to get free lunch for the animal. He knows he's going to rent it tomorrow. He starves his animal. He rents it out to the guy, and the animal's going to eat a lot. But it's a thing. Rashai Balabayas, and the guy who rents the animal, he is allowed. Omer, if Behema, he can what? He can open up a bunch of straw in front of the animal, okay, to cover the stuff. They should talk about so it won't eat much. It won't eat so much of the valuable stuff that he's threshing. Okay, so you see what? So it's clearly if we can prove from here what that you're allowed to put boiled leather on top. You saw you're allowed to cover up the stuff that you're threshing. I says no, it's no proof. Well, there, why it's different. Putting straw on top of it is different than putting leather on. Shani Asam, there it's different. Why? Because when you put it on, they'll call ochla because even though you put it, it still eats the stuff that you're threshing. It just didn't eat as much. Okay, but when you put the leather on top of it, it doesn't eat it at all. There's no comparison. I want to know if it can really cover it. By saying alternatively, another reason why I could say what that you're allowed to cover it. Okay, it never said that you could cover up. The Brisa wasn't even talking about covering up the threshing material with the straw, but rather what Rashab al-Abbas it just means mikar means what? You give it a meal before, like I tell the guy do this in the shiva. You feed the animal before, because they should lo tokal having an adisha, so it won't eat a lot of the thresh. Now, the guy who rents it, he's the boss, starved the animal for 2 days. The owner of the animal starved it for 2 days and rented it out. The renter says, I'm no idiot. What does he do? He says, I'm not going to have it eat my valuable wheat. I'm going to go out and give it I'm going to feed it a bunch of straw till it's full as can be. Then I'm going to have it. Then I'm going to do it. I'll get the guy back. So they each know what to do. Finally, he asked this question. I said, here, what if I muzzle it and then I put it in? I didn't bring it into the threshing and muzzle it. I muzzled it. Okay, now I brought it to thresh. What's the law? Is that, okay, why is that again? because it said don't muzzle it in its threshing. So maybe only when it's threshing. When I muzzled it, wasn't threshing yet. Oh, Dilma, no. Well, Tadish Bechasimo. That's not what it means when it says no. When it says don't muzzle an ox in its threshing, it doesn't mean at the time of the threshing. Don't muzzle an ox in its threshing. Don't have the ox thresh when it's muzzled. You can read it both ways. I'm a low. So see, my said the innocent, the base of Icha from the house of your father was a Kohen Atlamelech. I can learn it from the law of Kohanim. Why is that? He says you cannot drink wine and strong spirits, you and your sons, all the Kohanim, when you come into to do the service. I see. He said, well, it's only usher when you come in. But to drink and then to come in shari, and it's mutter, you're allowed to. So first thing that you would think, well, the Kohen's allowed to drink and then come in, as long as he comes drunk. Like these guys, the fights that don't serve liquor. I don't know, you watch these guys. They come to the plane, they're drunk for the whole thing. They get that 60 beer before they walk onto the plane. He says, here, no, the Kohen just can't drink when he comes in. But he can drink before and come in drunk. He says, no. He says, he says, clearly what? To separate between the holy and the profane, okay. Amrachmana. That's what the pasuk said. And therefore, what? Since it's understood that the reason is what is to separate from holiness and something that is profane. And therefore, what? Even if you drink before, he's still okay. He's not able to. He cannot distinguish. Okay, right? He can't do it. Awesome. Okay, b'shas via lote shabbos. Over this thing over there means at the time of coming in, there shouldn't be drunkenness. Hachanami here too. B'shas it means what? They shouldn't be muzzling at the time of the threshing. There's a lot to say here. These are big problems, and big problems, and also because they're coming up. We have a big argument where we all of a sudden who came in with all the reasonings. Since when do we manufacture reasons for God's laws and then say Allah according to it? What are you talking about? Or use reasons? Okay, turn around on him. You learn in the Bible. If a guy muzzles a cow, okay, but what? And somebody else does the muzzling. He does the muzzling. Somebody else does the threshing. But somebody actually hooks up the cow and the donkey and the cow, the donkey and the ox on the plow, but he doesn't do the plowing. Okay, he doesn't lead them. Putter, he's exempt. Okay, then the loka ella dash, only the person who actually causes the threshing with the muzzle. Umanik bilvad, only one who actually moves the animal with a mixed team alone. Okay, and that's what we'll call a daf and katina mara. Yeah. Yeah, just a little. Yeah. A lot of them don't. A lot of people don't. I don't know what Pharaoh is.
Pharaoh is a similar kind of.
It's a similar grade. Yeah. Wow.
No, it's more than that. Yes, Michael.